Back to the NFL now in Washington, where former Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy was announced late last week as the new offensive coordinator for the Commanders. Bieniemy takes over a Washington offense that has used 8 different starting quarterbacks since Ron Rivera became their head coach in 2020. That is the most in the NFL during that span. And as a result of that instability at the quarterback position, Washington's offense has ranked bottom 5 in the NFL in points per game, yards per play, and QBR since Rivera took over. So, Damien, Washington's used 8 different starting quarterbacks since 2020. Kansas City, to my knowledge, has used 1, and he's really good. So what do you think about Bieniemy making this move from Kansas City to Washington for the same position?
It stinks, man. There's no other way around it, in my opinion. Listen, Eric Bieniemy became the offensive coordinator when they gave the keys to Patrick Mahomes, and all the Kansas City Chiefs have done during that time period was go to 5 straight AFC Championship games, 3 Super Bowls, winning 2. This past season, past off season, they traded away Tyreek Hill, and they were still the number 1 offense in the National Football League. And you would think that, someone with those type of credentials would have an opportunity with being a head coach by now. And we've seen teams over and over again pass over Eric Bieniemy to hire other people. And we just saw in this past Super Bowl, the 2 coordinators for the losing Philadelphia Eagles, both of them got jobs. So it's unfortunate, but I feel like Eric Bieniemy said this is the only way is for me to become a head coach is to get up under the shadow of Andy Reid and go out there and do it in Washington.
Yeah, I agree, Webb, because this took guts by Eric Bieniemy because, not staying with Patrick Mahomes when year after year you could probably still be in the interviewing cycle for being a head coach if you have Patrick Mahomes and you work in that offense to go to an offense now where, this is a power-running, tough-minded Brian Robinson, 3-4 yards in a cloud of dust type of enforce their will type of team. So you have to you don't show Patrick Mahomes plays to Howell, do you? Saying this is how it's supposed to be. Can you do this? It's not possible. Okay, so if Bieniemy turns this into something successful, I think. I don't want to say this is improbable, but to bring the Chiefs offense here, you just don't have the same type of players, the same type of quarterback, the same type of receiver speed either. So this is a monumental task that took a lot of guts for Eric Bieniemy to say, you know what, you don't see me, you can't see me in Kansas City, so maybe you'll see me if I do it here, and that's what he's betting on himself.
Yeah,
I
we'll see
respect
how
that.
it goes. And it sounds like they are going to go with the young guy, Sam Howell, at quarterback. That's at least what Rivera said last week, so we'll see how that works. They got some young talent at wide receiver. They got Terry McLaurin. There's some pieces.
Quarterback's pretty important on that.
Quarterback is, as it turns out, pretty important. Jeff, Darlington, what do the Chiefs do to replace Eric Bieniemy?
Well, the Chiefs are going to go through the process, Dan, but it feels like we're just delaying the inevitable of Matt Nagy eventually being named offensive coordinator. Nagy, a very good relationship with both Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. So the Chiefs kind of were going into this feeling like Nagy was starting to take more and more of a role within the offense. It should be a pretty seamless transition, and ultimately that's the direction I expect them to go.
Ultimately, perhaps, but as you mentioned, the Rooney Rule does require them to do some interviewing for that offensive coordinator position before they can go that way. So we'll see how it all works out for Nagy and the Chiefs.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.